On.
Hot mic.
I think we're on.
Hot mic. Whoa, stop saying that. Hey guys, thank you. Welcome to our no holds barred question Q&A.
Before we get started here, I just want to let you know that Randy's been experimenting with our Delta 8 gummies, and it's going to be a really fun show.
And if that were true, and I'm not saying that it isn't, but if it were true, about 20 minutes from now, I will be asleep. Just leaning over saying, okay, John, you take that one.
We had, what flavor did you like best? The fruit flavors or the
ashwagandha flavor.
Yeah, the hemp flavors. All right, that's fine.
I like the
just before we get started. Sorry. Okay, let's move on. Go ahead. Extract Talks.
Oh, we're doing.
Here we go.
Welcome. Hey, we are working with our bot as your interface, and so we've got our team working on the bot because it's much faster and easier. So the bot is down at the bottom of the page. Enable pop-ups if you can't see it.
Right.
And we've got the whole team, EQ, Lucas, whatever. I mean, everybody's on. Yeah. And answering questions.
Yep.
And I think they answer as themselves, not as you.
Yeah, anymore. We kind of got that worked out. Yeah, we were coming up with a limitation with our Jam software, so we decided, hey, we'll check out the bot, see how that works.
Yeah, because the bot is kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
It's fun to interact.
So enable pop-ups. Introduce yourself. I think the bot might even ask you to introduce yourself, which is good. And then we're going to do poll questions. We're going to ask them live, and then you just answer. Put your answer into that chat bot down at the bottom. So we're working it out. Let us know how that works. Eli, Q, Lucas, you're already set. They're the folks answering the questions. If your screen gets frozen, as always, just click the red button on the top and that will refresh it. You don't get knocked out. You don't have to relog in or anything. This is a fun and safe place. Ask all the questions you want. Unfortunately, with the bot, we can't see the questions.
Yeah, we're kind of working that out.
But that's okay. We'll be able to say hi because we know who's there, and we are getting flashcards up by the team behind us. James, who is already laughing at us. Why are you laughing at us? What do we do now?
He always laughs at us.
He does.
My coffee.
Hey, explore our resources, no hold barred, simple or tough questions, no problem. Invite your friends. There will be a replay. Don't stress. Explore our resources, live tours, CBD jam sessions, extraction guides, distillation guides, calculator library, mini course library. We've got all of that available for you all the time.
Product tours. Did you say product tours?
I didn't say
because those are now live.
Product tours?
Product tours are live. What's really kind of cool, go find some product tours on our website. We have, basically there's a map and then an interactive. You can interact with the equipment and by just hovering over the highlighted spots, and you can, there's a whole bunch of stuff we're adding to that. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And we're adding to that, we're doing actual videos of each of the pieces of equipment so that we have a live demonstration, and you'll be on live with chatting with our team, and then you can do the interaction with the schematic also, right?
Yeah.
And the schematic, didn't James create those?
Yeah. He did.
James rocks.
Good job, James. Good job.
All right. CBD processing, CBD business opportunities, CBD manufacturers, operational excellence, CBD business, CBD companies to invest in, CBD merchant processing, hemp processing companies, CBD market, cannabis business plan, investing in hemp. Those are all the things that we're going to be talking about today.
It's going to be great.
And it's going to take us like 7 minutes.
But we did, it's going to take us 7 minutes
Everybody's laughing at that,
each.
7 minutes. Yes.
There are no tables this week.
What?
No tables of data.
No.
Instead, we have a list.
We do have a list.
It's the episode of battling lists. Now, here, I got my list, see? And he's got his list, and I already said he put a nice little header on it.
Mine is prettier
but
and downloadable.
Mine is... everybody knows mine's better.
All right. And if you, as you chat, the guys have my list. So
did they already do? They already have your list,
so they can give it to you right away. You can follow along, no problem. You can print it out.
Okay, all right.
Here
we go. So we're gonna do this. Let's go through our.
No. Wait.
Wow,
I gotta do a shout out to Amber Dunn.
Oh, great.
From
way to go, Amber.
Pinconning.
Pinconning.
There's a lot of N's.
Yeah. No.
I mean, there's 4 N's in
Michigan. That's in Michigan, though.
Michigan, yes.
Okay, all
Pin
right.
cunning. She won some Outlaws pre-rolls. Oh, good for you.
Wow.
And some CBD
No way.
dabs
That's
for joining the
awesome.
fun on our cotton candy post. Yeah, Jared came around looking for me, and he said, hey, do you want some cotton candy? And I'm like, I kind of value my teeth.
They made cotton candy, didn't they?
They
Guys,
did.
did you guys make cotton candy?
Somebody made cotton candy.
Oh, okay.
No, Jared.
Okay.
I think Jared.
Jared, okay.
Yeah. Did they? I wonder if they made it in the Gemco.
They put it with CBD in there.
Did
right?
they?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's right. They were doing
Is that
cotton
why?
candy CBD.
Is that why Mel has like 6 bags on his desk?
Oh no, I have no idea. No, but I know they were making CBD cotton candy, so they're having a lot of fun with
It does say
that.
the team might be making some CBD infused cotton candy and
We just need a cotton candy machine.
candy hemp
Hey,
flowers.
can you
soon.
guys get a quotation on a cotton candy machine? We need one of those around here.
We've got a big popcorn machine.
Yeah, but we keep on threatening to, use
That's
it.
going to be fun. And it's
It'll
a
be fun.
giant V mixer, which we can put 100 pounds of popcorn in there, and it'll be crazy. Okay, so that's where we're going. Let us know questions. Go ahead and update the questions, and if there's things that we need to answer directly, we will. But the team has that under cover. So,
Yeah.
all right, we do have a rolling poll on whose list is better.
Well, my list is better.
Nuh-uh.
Done.
Nuh-uh. My list is better.
Okay.
So, do you want to do it as a high level of what your topics are?
Yeah, well, we'll go through them, and then you go through them, and then we'll talk about them.
Okay, you want to go first?
No, that's a typical sales guy thing to do. It
is. At a high level, my list is this a growth opportunity, and what is that growth opportunity?
Okay, first of all, we got to back up. We got to say, hey, look, what we're really talking here is about investor stuff.
Yeah, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, we are talking about investor stuff.
I've heard that question asked. What the hell are you guys talking about?
Oh my gosh, I think we went down a wormhole. Okay.
We don't do that all the time.
Okay, so let's set this up.
Okay.
So look, if you're a processor or an investor or a farmer or whatever, it doesn't even matter where you are in the marketplace.
No.
You need to understand, something about the investor or the investor perspective. Okay.
Yes.
So we're talking to investors, but we're also talking to farmers. We're also talking to processors. We're talking to people who are startup people.
Packagers.
Anybody,
we're talking to
really.
anybody. This is standard business 101. Really, really. Because this is what investors are looking for in you. What are they looking for in your business plan? What are they looking for in your pro forma? What are they looking for? And how do you set up a business that will succeed?
Right.
That's what we're about. We want to help you build profitable revenue. That's what we've said from day one.
Yeah, that's what the whole purpose of this is.
Everything we're doing.
So I guess it doesn't really matter to me if you're an investor or if you're just maybe you're doing some investment in the public markets. Maybe you're thinking about a larger investment in a smaller, or looking at crowdfunding something. There's all kinds of different ways to get involved in the market. There's always the risk versus reward aspect of this. So the higher the risk, usually more risky it is, but the higher potential for reward.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
the list, my list at least, is it's targeted to investors, and you are an investor of time and money and energy in your business.
Right. If you're creating a business plan, you should be talking about these things in your business plan. So so I think we're set.
The real keys. So this is the top 5 things investors need to know for CBD processing. That's kind of the title, the working title of what we've got here. So what is the growth opportunity here? What are the risks? How do I maximize operating profits? How do I improve my top line revenue? And what is the start to scale strategy? Where do I start small? Do I start large? Where do I go? And what do I do to scale? And how do I protect myself to scale? That's my list.
That is a great list. It's a good list. Okay.
I know.
Here's what I got.
And I say that in all humility.
Okay. Let me see here. Cannabis and hemp are different markets with different risk factors. Number one thing to know.
Oh, true.
Okay, because even the numbers that you're going to be talking about to your investors are definitely going to be, predicated on which markets you're on.
Absolutely.
Okay,
No
so
question.
think about that. One has more of a local strategy from the top to the bottom, state strategy, and others as global. Okay,
good.
Number 2, what is the compliant niche?
Oh,
okay. So
niche.
And when I say that, I do mean the word compliant is very important, because obviously you need to be thinking about the FDA, you need to be thinking about state regulations, you need to be thinking about consumer requirements, all this stuff. So when I say, and niche is really, we already know what our niche is. Number 3, watch the overhead and where the money gets spent. Okay, if you're an investor, you're investing, there are certain things you need to do in this particular market, especially in this particular market, to understand where your money is going and how it gets spent, and watching the overhead. Number 4, consider my own rule, the rule of 2.
The rule of 2.
I
agree.
Okay, and I will save for you. I will save it for you what the rule of 2 is.
Ancient Dr. John secret.
Yes, advanced secrets of the universe given out here for free.
The rule of 2.
The rule of 2. Okay, number 5. Drum roll. Okay, operational excellence is key to profitability and growth management. Okay, I actually believe that.
He doesn't just believe it; he does it. It is the part of warp and woof of who he is and who this company is and our culture.
So I had to get it in there.
Operational excellence.
I actually believe it. So
I'm just stunned you don't have a table for that one.
No, you have to go back. We did an operational excellence video. We did
and there are tables in that.
Yeah, and we have tables in that. Absolutely.
So there are tables, but they're just hidden behind the curtain.
Okay, so this is our list.
That's a great list. And I think they're very synergistic, good and complementary.
Let's talk about your first one, and then I'll talk about my complementary one to your first one, which is is this a growth opportunity?
Good. And I'm getting more and more real-time data on my phone, so if you hear it buzzing, I apologize. Okay, is this a growth opportunity? Well, hell yes.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, next. No,
I think a lot of people are saying, okay, look, there's processors who are like, they're out there like, this is getting saturated. There's farmers out there saying, this is getting saturated. Okay. In the meantime, the market itself is expanding. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Fast.
And it's fast. And
it's like popcorn in a Gemco.
Yeah, exactly. So there definitely is a growth opportunity, but they're different.
And just so you know, let's quantify that just a little bit. Right now, there are different markets saying that we are either $3.5 billion market or a $6 billion market. And that will determine whether some people are just calling it hemp or they're combining hemp and cannabis.
U.S. or global.
Exactly.
So you got to look at what they're talking about.
Using the Range Me side of things, they're going out looking at this, and they're saying that it's about a $3.6 billion industry right now. Okay, everything else you see is somewhere between 5 and 6 as a global opportunity right now. That's growing anywhere from 23.6, so 24 billion, or to 27 billion in the next 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
By the end of 2025, that's what they're saying.
Right.
That's giant growth. Hello.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's a 500% increase in the next 4 years.
Yeah. Now, my distinction on that is cannabis versus hemp.
Yes.
And the larger numbers they're pulling up to $250 billion, for example.
Exactly.
With that's a global hemp estimate.
Yep.
The global cannabis markets are much smaller, mostly
Currently.
because they are very isolated. They're regulated state by state in the case of the United States, or in Canada, throughout Canada. But in terms of imports, exports, limited due to Schedule
State
1
regulations,
and
everything.
Banking is having a big part to play there in terms of the limitations. So.
The big growth in marijuana, you're right, it's isolated and local. Where it's going to just expand is the second that big pharma comes in and really takes over some of that medical marijuana.
God forbid.
Yeah, but that's going to be highly regulated. But that's coming. We know it's coming.
Yeah.
But how soon? And the FDA is pushing that out.
Have you ever heard of the FDA pharmaceutical company complex?
No.
Oh yeah. If you have
Does
it.
it make you twitch?
No.
That made me twitch. Okay. Just saying it. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the opportunity. The opportunity is giant, and it's up to you as a farmer, as a processor, as a packager, whatever. It's up to you to make sure you convey that opportunity to your investor, whether that's a family office, whether that's an individual, whether that's the bank. They need to hear that growth opportunity. They need to hear your confidence in the growth.
Right.
And you need to convey that and have the backup for it with third-party sources.
Right.
And that's what we've got. So
yeah. So just a cursory, you go into Google and you just type it in, growth rates, and you can pull information off of there.
Absolutely.
If you want to buy one of the reports, we've bought these market reports before. Mm-hmm. They're okay. They have like number one player, number two, number three player, whatever. If you were in the consumer market, it's changing radically quickly. So I might almost use if you're in like cannabis or in hemp, I would go to even the public markets and kind of look at all those for just comparisons purposes.
Watch all the markets, and I think that's good.
As they're going up and down, I'm talking. So if you look at the index, you can see what the market's doing overall just by looking at the indexes that are out there.
And that's good. And most of the things that we're talking about are really Main Street conversations, direct investing into you as a business, an ongoing direct business concern. And then as the other thing the investors want to look for as they're investing in you is what's your exit strategy? Are you just going to cash flow forever and just keep improving that? Or are you going to do a roll up and buy other people? Or are you going to allow yourself to be bought out? What is your exit strategy?
Yeah, that's a good thing to think about at the beginning. Have the begin with the end in mind, right?
Always.
Yeah.
And you don't have to manage to it, but just explore those options with an investor so they know what their exit strategy is.
Right.
Because and that could be just keeping, holding, managing, handing down as a legacy.
Right.
And where is the opportunity headed?
Yeah.
Is the other piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about cannabis and hemp. Hemp is growing monumentally because of geezers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Geezers like me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be 60. In like 3 weeks, I'm going to be 60 years old. Wow. September 15th, if you want to send cards and letters. Condolences. But that is, and no, I don't color my hair, and no, I'm not wearing makeup. I do drink a lot of water, though.
Coffee?
I do drink coffee.
Okay, there you go.
Lots of, and apparently antioxidant and antigen gummies.
With Delta 8 laced in there.
anything to.
By the way, how are you feeling at this moment?
Awesome so far. So we better get going.
Okay.
We better keep going. So the other thing though is where is the opportunity headed? And in the industry, you want to see where is the sustainability side of things going from an investor? Mm-hmm. How are you handling power? How are you handling recycling? How are you handling the environment? Mm-hmm. What does CO2 do to that equation versus ethanol?
How clean are your products? I mean,
Bingo.
People want to know about that, right?
That's exactly right. We are becoming a health-conscious world.
Yep.
And so knowing that and conveying that to an investor is huge, and the investor wants to know that.
Right.
We had a big conversation yesterday, and not only is hemp a growing and fast-growing market, but the shroom market is going.
Yeah.
It's right on the horizon.
Yeah, I had heard that Canada had legalized like magic mushrooms for dying patients.
Yeah,
that's kind of a first.
Fly like a reindeer, baby.
I guess so. Yeah,
because that's where they come from, the tundra, right?
Yeah, we're going to extract those. I guess.
That's
why
where,
not?
That's where flying reindeer came from. Just so you know.
Really?
Yeah.
From mushrooms?
Yeah.
Really? You mean they ate the mushrooms and
the
then they
little
started
red
flying?
top with the white polka dots? Yes.
Okay.
Well,
right.
When you ate a little bit of that mushroom, you thought they were flying.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's the opportunity. Convey that. Anything you want to add to opportunity?
I would kind of say that, kind of the equivalent to your one there is the cannabis and hemp are different markets with different risk factors. Hemp has a wider reach than cannabis does. And we kind of touched on that. They're all growing at a compound annual growth rate that's quite large. Okay, and I would say that
stupid large.
I guess for hemp, it's growing on that 25 to 50%, depending on whose numbers you're using, compound annual growth rate, which is a big deal. So your investors are going to want to hear about, first of all, how big the market is. So your potential available market is really large, and you really need to take that potential available market and bring it down to an addressable market. So when you do that, you're going to create your business plan. You're going to say that's called total available market. TAM, SAM, and PAM is what they call it. Total available market, product available market, PAM. So you're going to take this big market. You're going to tell them, okay, hey, look, this pie here is growing at 26% compound annual growth rate. And by the way, here's my product available market with that. And that's also growing at this percentage rate.
Yes.
And so that's the type of thing that you want to think of. And the risk factors that you're going to be talking about to your investor, or the risk factors that your investor is going to want to know about you, is the specific risks are totally different, actually, between the cannabis and the hemp. They just are.
No question. And even when you cycle down into the strains of product and the genetics that you're growing, even on the hemp side.
Right.
Are you growing for CBD? Are you growing for CBG? Are you growing for CBC? Are you growing for CBN? What are you growing for?
Right.
What strain is that? And where is that headed? Because there's a lot of people growing CBG. There's a lot of people growing for CBC right now. And we've heard now the markets are telling us that the CBD growth is down.
Right.
And people are panicking a little bit, thinking, oh, no, there's going to be a big increase in price for CBD biomass.
Right.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
And I think there will be those people who buy into the rumor.
Yeah.
But there is still too much winterized crude out there, CBD winterized crude, that's going to offset that decrease. And it's about 75% of last year's grow in CBD. But they're not converting some of that to CBG. Well, there's a lot of CBG grow out there right now.
Yeah, there are different stages of let me say, you have little infant farmers basically who are just farming. They're figuring it out, and they maybe grow 20 acres, and that would
an acre
or even an acre, but they won't. But it's not successful. It takes you a few years to really dial it in.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. It takes at least 2 years to dial in your fertilization, your lighting, getting understanding. Yeah. Even if you have good genetics, it just takes that long to get the soil and the plant ready. Yeah, and that's good. So, excellent. So know your market. I love that.
Yeah, and I think that you have a risk factor one. What are the risks? And that's where I think you really need to go in and your.
That's number 2, by the way.
Yeah, that's
risks. What are the risks?
Look, you have to. The more you tell your investor, or the more you tell your investor about what the risks are, and here's how we're controlling them, the better for you.
Don't hold back. Say, here's why you should not invest your money with me.
Pretty much.
Really, you say it that way, and they're going to lean in and listen.
Right.
They do. Right. It's counterintuitive, but it works. Especially after you have convinced them the confidence level of what you're doing and the opportunity. And the biggest risk to me is conveying bad information. Yeah.
Or trying to gloss over a risk factor that you feel is not very favorable.
Yes.
No, that's the one you should be talking about, because that's one they're going to be asking you about.
So how are you dealing with it? What are you doing to address that risk factor?
Right.
They want to know that because they think they really believe you're smarter when you do that.
That's true. I mean, it does project that. Hey, look, we have this risk. We know about it. Here's our plan to address that risk, right?
Yep.
So here's the plan to eliminate it.
So as an investor, you need to know what those risks are.
Exactly.
And understand that market, and most of you do. And the other thing is, like I'm giving you information here, and we've got some source things, but be a Berean. Go out, trust but verify.
Yeah, trust but verify.
Go out and do your own research. Say, hey, he said that the market was going to be $23 billion by 2025. Holy cow.
Yeah, let's go check this out, right?
And then, Googleize it. The other big risk is having the wrong team. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have people who have done startups within large corporations, you cannot start a company with that type of person.
No, it's hard. It
They
is
they do not know how
almost
to do it.
impossible shift to go from a corporate mentality to an entrepreneurial mentality.
It is hard.
Because when you're in corporate, you have unlimited coffers.
Yeah.
Really, that's the biggest reason.
Right.
And there are some people who can make that shift very well because they're frugal and they squeak when they walk.
Well, they
Or they're
want
Dutch.
to. Yeah, well, we have a team to do this, and we have a team to do this, and
Yeah.
we have a team to do this, and we're sitting in meetings all day doing nothing. Okay, whatever. I mean, really, honestly, everybody's heard about our bootstrapping, bloodletting way to do startups.
And that's the only way to do it.
It is the only way to do startups, but. It's going to be really difficult to attract an investor to that type of a thing. So you got to make sure that you're talking about all those risks.
Yeah,
right?
and who is on your bench, right? So who is your finance person? And it shouldn't always be you. Who is your operational person? Who is the processing operational excellence? Who's handling the people? And one person can wear multiple hats until you get enough revenue to hand off a hat.
Right.
That's what we do. That's what a startup is. If it's just you, you're wearing all the hats.
Right.
And then there are times when you hand off hats.
Tell me one, like one example of, say, someone you've talked to, just looking at their business plan was like a risk factor that they overlooked.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like a big one.
There's so many. One, okay, and I'll just use myself as an example. Mm-hmm. Okay, because I've been stupid.
I second the motion.
We're questioning whether the Ben stupid is really an accurate statement. I'm not sure that's true. All right, so what I'm saying is, if you think you're making money because money is coming in, you're wrong. That is the number one rule. Is just because money's coming in doesn't mean you're making money. Mm-hmm. Top line revenue does not mean profit.
Correct.
Because you've got tons of costs, you've got hidden costs, you've got to really know what that is, and you've got to manage that, which is actually maximizing those operating profits. Mm-hmm. Paying out different things. What are your cost of goods? What are your cost of materials? What are all of that. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was in my 20s, which was when it was a long time ago. I was bringing in money. I mean, it was coming, but I learned I was losing like 10 cents for every dollar that came in. So the more money that was coming in,
payment, your Bentley payment, all that stuff.
No, it had nothing to do with me. I just was not operationally excellent.
I see. So, yeah, we're managing those costs.
But yeah, because you just need to make sure you don't do it by rumor. Make sure you know your business and maximize that. But having that is the key thing, is making sure you understand what your costs are.
Yeah.
And that you're actually managing to margin and to profit. That's
so
the number one reason.
As an investor, I think it's okay. So risk factors are, you have to know all those things. You have to look at the team. You have to say, okay, here's what I think is the unique risks. Here are the unique risks. Here are the general market risks. You need to check them off one after another and say, okay, they're okay with that. They're okay with that. They have their business plan doesn't deal with that. Maybe I can shore that up with a board seat, for example, so I can have some governance in this. The market risk I'm willing to take that has nothing to do with really the people who are operating in it. Maybe I don't like their specific product available market strategy, so I might go ahead and say, hey, why don't you invest in this instead? So that's the type of, from an investor standpoint, just identifying what those risks are. You can go and get all the risk factors you want just by combing the public data in the 10Ks. They're in there, and they're extensive. Most all of them are very specific to the business, but there's a lot of like general ones. So anyway, that would be one place that an investor can go and look and learn about the different risk factors.
And use our tools. We've got the calculator for operational calculator.
Absolutely.
And we've got, there's a great blog post on for startups.
Yeah.
Oh, great. You and Matt wrote that. That was awesome.
So I would say that, on the calculator side, they go to the calculator.
I like that was harp music.
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, I thought how are you feeling, by the way, right now?
Is she like your angel?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So let's move
so,
on since we're
we're continuing to go.
Yeah.
Back to the team, just real briefly. Make sure you hire people that you know, you trust, and that are hardworking.
Right.
Just get that done. We apparently
Blood, sweat, and tears.
We approve of nepotism.
Oh well, apparently, yeah.
Apparently,
all right.
And, yeah, right. Thank you. And it works. You can trust. Carefully select good partners. The other thing is invest in good salespeople, marketing and branding. Don't commoditize. Those are other risk factors. Is if you're not investing in sales and marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
I built a great mousetrap.
Yeah, and then how do I sell it? Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
so
get it done. Okay, so the next thing is operating profits. We've already touched on this. Facility intelligence. We've had different conversations already about the facility. How do you manage, for power consumption, for size? How do don't have a football field if you only need 10 yards.
Right. Crawl, walk, run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maximize those, manufacturing efficiency. Make sure you have a good MES. Control your inventory through WIP.
Yeah, these are the things that I would be, if I were to invest in a particular operation, if they're operating and manufacturing wise, I'd want to know that first of all, I'd want to make sure that they had a strong audit function on their financials. That's the first thing I'd want. So if you guys don't have, an accountant, if you can't produce a Proforma that looks like a good Proforma, your investor is going to pretty much require that. They're also going to want to know what is the governance on that money. So I'm going to give you, $1 million to start up. Okay. I'm going to want to know, what you're going to spend it on.
Yep.
That's the number one question investors ask, right? I mean, pretty much.
Always.
What are you going to spend the money on?
That's exactly right.
And they probably are going to disagree with everything you say. Okay.
Yep. Even if it's just because of principle.
Yeah, well, that's
they want
true.
to make sure that you defend everything that you're spending money.
Exactly. So they're going to be giving you buying signs of that. You don't spend it there, don't spend it here, whatever. So, it's no place for passive money was one of my notes here. So from an investor standpoint, if you're investing in retail or you're investing in branding, manufacturing, farming, medicinal education, or ancillary, there's a lot of different places you can invest. You need to make sure that you own your money in this because it's growing so fast. There's a lot, and people tend to start pushing the admin too heavily up front, and it really can take the profits and just completely destroy them. So that
no question.
And so where are they spending the money? And what's your SG&A plan? So if I had a business plan as an investor put in front of me, the first place I'd look for is their SG&A plan. I'd look at that, and I'd look at their balance sheet, and I'd ask them how are they going to manage their balance sheet. And if they didn't know what I was talking about, I wouldn't invest.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
And G&A is general and administrative,
right?
Just so.
And I'd also ask, how are they auditing their books? Who's going to audit their books?
Yeah. Who's managing the money? The other thing is you want to make sure that you show that you've got dry powder. You're not spending every dime.
That's
you
true.
need dry powder. Because there are things that happen that come up where you're going to need some operating capital. You're going to need to be carried, whether that's in a line of credit or not. But that is absolutely critical to do. I love your ads there. I think that's good. I like the idea of it's not a place for passive money.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of unique risks here. And so, if you're an investor, just if you're going to write a check, you're probably the people that you're investing in need more from you than just your check.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean you have to take a role in the company.
No,
but take an advisory role.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, because getting that benchmark is there. Oh, I wanted to also say on a Proforma, just as a Proforma is just your spreadsheet. Okay, so those of you who are looking at it, it's just getting what are your top line revenues minus your cost of goods or cost of services. That'll give you your gross profit.
Right.
Then you take all of your operating expenses and you take it out of that, and that'll give you your operating profit.
Right.
So that's just a very simple pro forma. It's just, what comes in, what's left at the end, and then at the end, that's when you start taking out amortization, depreciation.
Wow.
and interest and taxes. Yeah.
All that good
and
stuff.
It keeps coming out.
Yeah.
It never
just
ends.
keeps coming out. Then
Just
then
keeps
at the
going.
very end, it's like, wow, what do I got left?
So manage those. So, this is a great opportunity, lead with your risks and then maximize your operating profit always, and be in charge, be in control, and call on good, trusted advisors. The next item...
And from the investor standpoint, audit your money.
Audit your money.
Demand an SG&A plan.
Yep.
Where's your operational excellence plan in that SG&A plan, and who's...
And initially get a weekly report.
Yes.
Don't wait 30 days because that doesn't turn the ship.
If I'm an investor, I'm going to want to make sure that I understand what their sales plan is. That's where I'm going to be focusing on.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe because I don't have, because I know the back end of it so well, there may be some people who come at it from an operational standpoint. They want to look at that from an operational standpoint. I know that we do a lot for our customers to eliminate and reduce time to market risk by giving full solutions to people.
Yes.
So that's something we do. So maybe that's not something that I would normally look at as an investor, but I'm going to really be homing in on what is your product available market, what niche products, and what's your compliancy plan, and what's your, give me your operational excellence plan. Where is it?
Yep.
I want to see it. If you don't have one, you're not managing your balance sheet, period.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. Always be, growing revenue, and don't look at just today. Don't look at today. Don't look at the next 30 days. Don't look at this quarter. I mean, you want to do that, and you need that to keep the business going.
We typically do a 4-year time frame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go out, 3, 4, 5 years. Just know that every investor understands that anything you say past 3 years is a lie.
That's unfortunately, that's not true with me.
Well, that is true.
Did I show you my?
That is fortunately, not unfortunately. That was good. You told me. What was it? You said you did.
I hit it right on the money. I mean, I hit it right on the money.
I know, that's awesome.
When you get in, you're starting to run.
Scientist.
You're starting to run business plans, okay, and you start pitches, okay. You'll be doing pitches over a period of a decade,
yeah,
right. So you can always go back and say, how did you do, with that pitch? And there's certain assumptions in there. So with the business plans that I wrote,
stuck.
The pitch stuck.
Pun intended.
That's because I could manage all the risk factors. Sometimes it's more difficult if you have more of a public, or if the public or entity, or if you're having different assumptions come into different business plans. So
no question.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway.
Okay. My next item was improve top line revenue.
Okay.
And again, the best way to do that is get good salespeople. But how do you position to improve that for them? And that is by solving problems. What's the problem out there? And is the problem that the market needs more Me Too product?
Oh, that is not the problem. That is the problem. There's too many Me Too products.
That's exactly right. So find a niche where people are looking for an answer and have money ready to give to you to solve that problem.
Right.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I think, you're looking at it from the problem standpoint. And as an investor, I'm looking for zing in the marketplace.
Yes.
I mean, I think they're both
it's a
complementary.
differentiation. Same thing, different side of the table.
You can have, you can have the oldest product in the world being marketed in a different way, and it can just completely blow up, right?
Yeah.
We all know about that.
Positioning.
Positioning, and so I would be focusing.
Which is different than branding.
Right.
Positioning means
branding and positioning both. I mean, they got to go in there.
They are together. Yeah. They are hand in hand. But positioning and branding are quite different. Positioning is, which market am I going to? Who am I talking to? Am I predominantly selling bulk to supplement manufacturers?
Right.
As a processor, am I selling CBG grow to processors?
Right.
Am I tolling that so that I can sell my distillate to people who are using that in the market?
Right.
Where are you solving? And go where the money is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of business out there that you can do that isn't chasing the same dollar everyone else is chasing.
Right. So on that note, I mean, the points of entry in terms of investment. Mm-hmm. If you're an investor and you're looking for a point of entry, there's obviously the public markets, and those are easily inaccessible. There's OTC markets. Yep. There are actual public markets, and I would. and there's also these indexes. Okay. So, but besides that, if you're going into private business and doing a placement into a private business, you can access at the farming level, you can access at manufacturing, branding, retail, medicinal, education, and ancillary. I mean, those are all the different options to you where you can enter, and you can basically place investments there, but those those are more risky investments. Sure. I think.
Yep, and again, going back to improving that top line revenue and being able to scale, you can take a portion of your 20-acre parcel and take 5 acres and make that a CBG grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because
so now you're diversifying, and it's a bigger market. It's a growing market, but you still have your stalwart. As a dispensary or retail, look at building your own brand.
Right.
White label. Bring in other brands. Bring in things. Look at topicals, gummies. Look at all of those things.
Right.
Expand. There's a lot of other people out there where you can put up your box. If you're a dispensary of CBD products or whatever you're doing, there's a lot of corner grocery stores, gas stations, spas who want your product.
Yeah.
And you can job out to them. So you've just expanded your store.
Yeah.
It's another opportunity of people who want it. It gives more access to your product.
Right. So I'm going to just kind of complement this with, improve and grow your top line revenue. Focus on that top line revenue. Yep. From an investor's perspective, your people that you're thinking about investing in, they're going to give you some sort of pro forma projection, a sales projection. And they say, okay, we're going to hit $70 million in 2 years. Would you believe it? $70 million in 2 years. Okay, whatever. Okay. Well, to me, that first of all, I know that just to get the money for inventory and balance sheet, that you cash on hand to support that growth, you're going to have $70 million just on your balance sheet.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just a general rule of thumb.
You've got to do that. And then there's that multiple of saying, what is your pipeline? So we talked a little bit about building that growth. Right. You need that pipe ready to go. And it's usually, 2, 4, 8 times, 10 times what you need in the pipe to know that that's going to start coming.
Right. So I'm going to be looking at that, that sales projection, and I'm going to be applying my rule of 2. Okay. As an investor, I think it's a really good thing to do, because it's almost like, okay, if your investee is saying, okay, I'm going to do $70 million in 2 years, I think it's probably more like $30 million in 4 years.
Yep.
And I think that's generally, I think that's the case. And you know why I hit my business plans is because I apply that rule of 2.
Rule of 2.
I mean,
divide by 2 and then multiply by 2.
Right. Exactly.
Multiply the time it takes.
Right.
Divide it in half.
And that applies to your top line revenue.
I think that's smart.
You have all of these products that you're building up, and you're doing a product-based forecast month by month for 4 years. That's what I recommend you do, because it really forces you to think about all aspects of your business.
I think that's very smart. But don't fool yourself. Be truthful with yourself. Right. And whatever that plan is that you believe you're going to hit, and if that's $2 million, if you know at the end of this year you're going to hit $2 million, divide it by 2 and just plan for $1 million
and double the time.
And then say it's going to take you 2 years to get there.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's the rule, and that is perfect. And you know what? Every investor will respect that and love it.
And what I like to do is I just say, hey, look, I like to do scenarios. So scenario 1, scenario 2, I apply the rule of 2. Here's what one possibility is. Here's the other possibility. So it gives you a range.
Yep.
Everybody's asking for a number. Okay, I never give a number. I always give a range of numbers, because
low, medium, and high.
Yeah, exactly. And look, we have assumptions that will drive this.
And it's easy to build that pro forma that way.
Yeah.
And I've done that. I've had 200 tab spreadsheets that I've done that have had low, medium, and high. I know, right? I'm a loser. What can I say? And one other quick thing: as you're doing that, make sure you're pricing properly too. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Don't race to the bottom. This is not a commodity business. If you're only chasing the business that everybody else is going after, the same dollar, that's commodity. That's why you want to differentiate.
One thing that I would look for as an investor in a business plan is what is their assumptions for pricing over time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so that actually should be readily available. Like,
is it going up? Is it going down?
It should be
Is
like,
it
oh
flat?
yeah, you can turn to page 37 and there it is right there. I've already thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah, you have to understand, and you have to at least project, okay, I know there's going to be more people in this market. Margins are great. I know what average margins are in other like markets. I'm going to apply that average margin, and I'm going to say, okay, that's kind of my bottom, and I'm going to model it over the next 4 years as a that's why
A declining price.
yeah, declining price. But yeah, and then what is your operational excellence and plan really to address that?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And even if you're going out, and I have heard rumors, I haven't had this, so let me know if you've heard this, but the SBA is now giving loans
Wow.
to potential processors as food type businesses.
I don't believe it.
I know you don't. But I'm hearing that. Okay. So and
Pretty
the
good. I heard the
folks,
USDA was. I know that they.
Well, the USDA, you can go
Yeah.
get, I think, $400,000.
Yeah.
Up to $400,000.
Yeah.
Right now.
Do we have papers on that? Right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Yeah.
So ask the team if you need that, they can forward that on to you also.
Right.
But if you've heard something different on the SBA, let us know, because but we're seeing that, and in the SBA, when you do your pro forma, they need you to back that up with verbiage of what are your formulations, what are your assumptions,
Right.
and what is that price point declination? What are you doing?
You know what? We should get the skinny on that. We should apply. See what happens.
What are you saying?
Okay. We should get the skinny on that though, right?
Yes.
We should apply and see what it is.
Skinny
See what it says.
G2
See if we can get
info.
See if we can
data.
get rejected. That shouldn't be too hard.
No.
Oh, those guys, get rid of them.
But it is opening up, and because the investors are now seeing this, there is money to be had.
Yeah, well, that is another thing that's going to, as an investor, I'm not going to want my my investee to really, get USDA loans and to go get SBA loans, because I want to get, I want to make an equity position in your company. And if you're able to get bank money at those lower rates, then it's lowering my return. Now,
Unless, of course, and what I've seen is some investors are coming alongside processors, and they're doing what you would classify as a bridge loan,
right.
bridge investment. So they maintained their terms, their equity position, and then they go help them get the SBA loan or the USDA loan and use that as operational growth or additional capital
Right.
expenditures, because there is not an investor out there that I have heard that will give you what you're asking.
yeah.
It doesn't happen because there's too much fat built in, and you're thinking too big. You didn't apply the rule of 2. And that goes back to an investor wants you to crawl, walk, run.
Yeah.
They do.
They do.
Want that. They don't want you to start with the Cadillac. They want you to start out with
Right.
a scooter.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Really?
I think the
Go
best.
show me you can make money.
Yeah,
Then I'll invest more.
Yeah, that's tough. It's like the chicken and the egg.
It is.
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
really
But
tough.
you can do it if you put in a lot of hard work. And don't get me wrong. We're giving you all of these things. The reality is this is a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
Put in the time, put in the effort, believe in it, and make it happen.
it will. If you just ignore all the negatives and just focus on
And
the
there are
positives every
negatives
day.
out there.
Take one Delta 8 gummy a day. Okay, then you're not going to get anything done. Sorry, don't ever do that.
Sleepy time.
All right.
That's good. Okay, so I've covered most of my list. And again,
Start to scale strategy.
Yep.
And that would kind of really work well with my operational excellence is key to profitability and growth management. So let's hit that one.
Go.
Okay. So my number 5 was operational excellence is key to profitability and growth management. Growth can put you out of business. Brand success can put you right out of business faster than you can think.
Fast.
Okay, if you have a $1 million brand that's going to a $20 million brand, you need $20 million in the banks to sustain that or $19 million, and as a rule of
You
thumb,
need a
in
lot
the
of dry
bank.
powder for growth.
Yeah, exactly. Because why is that? Where's all that money going to? And you're trying to figure out, well, I'm not spending it all. Where is it going to? I can't figure out where it's going. Well, just check out your balance sheet,
Bingo.
okay? Because it's all there.
It's all
Here
there.
you got cash is going into inventory. And by the way, that's really where An operational excellence plan will help you mitigate that by just, making it's going to help you with the following. And I'm going to look at the company that's claiming big growth, really huge growth. I'm going to be looking at, okay, how much cash they need on the balance sheet, how much working capital do they need, and what is their plan to manage their inventory? Because if I give them, say they need 5 million because they're going to grow by 5 million, okay, and I'm going to want to know, okay, what are you doing to manage that inventory in real time? I mean, what are you doing?
Yep.
And how are you keeping it at a minimum? Because anybody can just like throw a bunch of money at it and just pump up inventory. That's no good, because that's where all your money's going. It's got little cash things there. And a lot of times in a consumer products good category, those things don't last forever either. So you have to have so that's what an operational excellence plan will go. So growth can put you out of business. Need an operational excellence plan in your business plan. I'm going to be looking for it in addition to what is your quality plan, because this is a regulated market.
Yes.
Okay. You have to have a compliant niche, not just a niche. Okay. I would want to see how you guys are addressing safety, architectural, and your product plan. I'd want to know what all those things are.
Oh, absolutely.
In addition to, obviously, who's auditing
because
your
that
books.
goes back to risk.
Yes.
How are you managing all of that risk?
Right. I want to know about it.
Yeah. Including quality and end product.
Right.
You don't want returns. You want to deliver quality product.
Right. So that would be basically from number 5 as an investor. I'm listening for the following cues. We're going to manage the balance sheet for this particular purpose, inventory turns, or I'm going to be managing the balance sheet for, additions. I'm going to be managing it for those things. I'm going to be looking at those balance sheet levers, because if you don't do that, I just know that that's where all the cash is going to go automatically.
And in typical fashion, over the last 30 years in working with the small business market, a lot of people make the mistake thinking that they're just going to grow forever. And that's where you go out of business, because you cannot grow and get strong at the same time, because growth requires capital investment constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Right.
So in your pro forma, I always build in a pause. So you want to grow and then take a quarter just to work out the whip, to get strength, figure out where the money is,
quality
where
issues,
the fat is, and take out the fat.
You got to examine your operation, try to figure out where it is.
And that's getting stronger. Yeah. You can't get strong and grow. So if you're always running a marathon, that's not healthy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, right, exactly.
You've got to stop and rest.
Do your training and
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, do your speed work or whatever. So, hey, we did it. Yeah. All right.
I hope this was helpful for you. This was good. We went through our top lists, and I think it would be hard pressed to say whose list was better, because it was absolutely complimentary.
They were not absolutely complimentary. I have to say that mine was a little bit better.
Of course,
that's good.
Oh, yes. and it was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it really was.
It was. Better.
What we can do is we can. This is a downloadable.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Mine's a downloadable. We'll get his inserted into those too, so we have that as a downloadable.
Yeah.
Also, so we're not playing favorites.
Yeah. We won't. Yeah.
Because
we see who gets the most downloads.
I was ready.
That's
Zoom.
Funny.
So today we talked about the 5 things investors need to know, and is really what you need to know to speak to investors. Also, both sides of that. We talked about, this works for farmers, for processing, CBD farmers, cannabis farmers, it works for everything. These are great CBD business opportunities out there. And every CBD manufacturer out there for product and things need to have you help make sure that that's going. Sorry, somebody's flashing a question to us, and we'll get there. But this happens for processing, merchant, retail, hemp processing. Watch the CBD market. Be intelligent with this, and the cannabis business plan. Go get it.
Yeah.
I mean, go make that stuff happen. And we're going to be doing more of these business things. And so each one of these elements, we've done some of them in greater detail, but we will continue to do more of these in great detail for you. So let us know which ones are the most interesting for you. We do, so if you're investing in hemp, let's go. Let's help you out.
Yeah.
Now, there is a question. Somebody wanted you to walk through the rule of 2 again.
Oh, okay.
Just quickly.
We can do that. We
just
can do that.
at a high level. What does that mean?
What it means is it's going to take you twice as long as you think it's going to take to get to a given revenue numbers, and it's going to cost you twice as much as you think it's going to take to get to that revenue.
And the other rule of 2 is that you're only going to get halfway to where you think you're going to go.
It's a different way of saying
so
that.
So divide that by 2,
yeah.
and it's going to cost you twice as much to get there.
Right.
So increase your costs by 2, decrease your revenue by a factor of 2, and increase the time you think it's going to take you by 2.
You hit it.
Rule of 2.
Hit it right on that. Yeah, just everything. Just divide everything by half. That makes a difference. Right? I mean, your revenue in half, your time, double it. Right? Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
so that's the rule of 2.
Divide your revenue target by 2. Multiply your expenses by 2. Multiply the time you think it's going to take you by 2.
You know what I need? I need one of those little whiteboards.
That's right.
I could put it right here. Look at here it is.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be like me with the soundboard.
And then I could put a table on there.
Yeah, and he would. Believe me, there would be a table. Okay. Thank you for being here. Yeah. You guys are awesome. We love the questions. We love the interaction. We are here. The team is here. For as long as you want to ask questions, they're there answering questions for you. Congratulations again to Amber Dunn from Pinkenning, Michigan. Good job. And you got some good stuff coming your way, man. I wish I won that.
Yeah, look at that. Pre-rolls and dabs. Okay, sweet. Yeah. Cotton candy.
Because that's all legal.
All right.
That's good. Thank you for being here and part of our whole conversation. We love the interaction, and we so appreciate you. Subscribe on our YouTube channel. Our calculator library is always available to you, and this operational calculator is there.
Yep.
And comparison calculators, yield calculators, everything. Extractlab.com, extractlab.com /calculators. Join our conversation on all of our social channels and your favorite social channel. We're there. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Subscribe on YouTube. Yeah. We'd love to have you on our on our YouTube channel. So,
and I mentioned that earlier. Also, we have all of our podcasts, and these are our video recordings of our podcasts.
Right.
So they are all available at extractlab.com /set-list. Right. That's where it is, /set-list, Extract Lab. So thank you. Have a great day.
Take care.
Good to see you.
Yeah, bye
see
now.
you next time.
All right, we did it.
Hot mic.
Yeah, look at that. Got to get the coffee. Oh, man.